Hi, this is Will Richardson, the Global Underdog, and as promised, I'm back with our first series on vision. We got to take this vision and manifest it into reality, but how do we do that? But before I get into that, I really want to talk about the testimony of myself and what God has done for me and how God has brought me from where I used to be to where I am and what I'm expecting God to do for me in the future. My background was into warehousing, and I really was in between jobs and kind of confused on where I wanted to be in my mid-20s. I was going from job to job, and I just had this feeling like I was designed for something greater. Every job that I had, I was always elevated into management or leadership, and then it would just kind of fizzle out. And so I started to question myself and say, well, you know, God, I'm trusting you. Why are you taking me through all these situations, different jobs, different positions, and I'm not really gaining any ground? And one night I'm at the house and I'm working in the home healthcare field as a secretary. Can you believe that? I was a secretary. I was typing papers. I was doing emails and faxes. I was picking up coffee, 3 creams, 2 sugars. All of this stuff was going on in my life, and I was just like, this is not who I am called to be. I knew I was destined for something greater. And some of you right now who are watching, you're in a job position where you don't like it, you're uncomfortable, you know that you should be in the supervisor's position, you should have that corner desk, and you're going to get there. Just trust me. Okay, so back to the testimony. I'm working as this secretary. I'm at a dead-end job. The people there are treating me like, you know, I'm just a stepping stone, basically. And I was okay with that. I began to learn more about the business that I was in. I went from being a secretary to being the business manager at this place. And I learned how to count the beans from that point. And then I went from counting the beans to getting fired. And I got fired. I'm not going to tell you why I got fired. Whenever you get fired, you know, we got 1,000 stories. You ask one person, they got a story about it. You ask me, it's a whole different story, so we're not going to go there. But I will say this. I got fired. I was unemployed. And I was in between jobs. I ended up leaving there and getting a job as a janitor. I was cleaning bathrooms and mopping floors and things of that nature at a warehouse. I got a phone call back from that company saying, Will, we made a mistake on firing you. We want you to come back and work in one of the homes of the mentally challenged. So keep in mind, I don't have any experience in this field. I never was a secretary from the beginning, but now I'm doing a home manager's position that I have no idea on what to do. I took on the challenge because I needed to pay my bills. The money was needed. I did that. God began to show me then that I was called for something greater. So I worked in this home for about a year. I took that home from being one of the worst homes that the company had to one of the greatest homes that it's ever seen. And I owe that to God. Now, I'm in this position as a home manager, and the people around me, my superiors, began to get jealous. They started applying more pressure to me. Eventually, I quit because I couldn't handle the pressures that were around me. But the key to that was that the director that was there, she had left and went to a new company. And the first person she called was the Global Underdog. She wanted me to come on her team and help her repeat the process that we had built at the other company. And we did just that. I became an assistant director. Well, as you climb higher and up the ladder, people who are above you begin to hate as well. And that's why I talked about the haters so much. The haters are a very important piece of this puzzle because they apply pressure to us and make us become great. A diamond is not made until enough pressure is wrapped around that piece of coal. So right now you're being treated like a piece of coal, but that's just God's way of applying pressure to make you the diamond that you're designed to be. So now, I left that job. I got a director's job at another company, and I'm at the top of the chain. Now I'm calling the shots, I'm making moves, but God was telling me still to not be complacent here. There was more. Now, what could be greater than having benefits, having a job, you know, making $70,000, hiring, firing, you know, really just relaxing, being able to come and go as I please. I was still tossing and turning at night in the bed. And then God whispered in my ear, you're supposed to have your own. I want you to have your own agency. Well, the first thing that came to my mind was, how do I get my own agency? It's going to cost money. I don't make a lot of money, and I don't have the tools necessary. I don't have the policies. So many excuses on why I could not start my own business. But one thing I found out is that once God releases that into your spirit and tells you that you're destined for greater, that He's not going to quit because you don't want to move forward. He's going to continue to push you. He's going to continue to challenge you to take Him at His word.